Okay. Okay, National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued a severe thunderstorm watch until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for St. Joseph and Cass Counties, Michigan. So we're staying on now. I was watching the news. My phone died, so I put my phone on the charger. We're gonna stay on until the power goes out. That's all I'm gonna say. We're staying until further notice. National Weather Indiana issued a severe thunderstorm watch at 11 this morning. From National Weather Service issued a severe thunderstorm warning. Now warning. Okay, sorry, but a watch. Sorry, but I got these. I got two papers here. So give me a break. I got two papers popping right now. Okay, it's got a new warning now. National Weather Service in Northern Indiana has issued a severe thunderstorm watch for St. Joseph and Cass County, Michigan until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. National Weather Service in Illinois has issued a thunderstorm warning for Cook County, Illinois until 1 p.m. Central Time. Okay. That's Chicago, Illinois. That's the Chicago area. They issued a warning for Chicago and parts of Indiana. They're now behind us. And the rain's supposed to hit around 1 o'clock here, East Coast time. So about half an hour or so, but I had to come on now, stay on until further notice. So yeah, I live in St. Joseph County, Michigan, about 10 miles from the county line of Cass County. So I kind of have to keep on this. I have two weather radios off camera. One that does Indiana, and one does Grand Rapids. I live closer to. It's confusing to explain. I kind of live in the area that that Michigan doesn't really cover. Indiana does cover us, but not that well. So I'm kind of in the spot where I'm in the gray area. So yeah, we got weather radio. We got an AM FM stereo behind us. Two weather radios up there. I'm just killing time right now until further notice. The rain should start around 1:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 13:10. It's just the state. Now it has got dark within last 50 before I started recording. It was nice and sunny. Now it has got darker out. But we're just gonna stand for a while, watch TV, and that's it.
As a childhood friend of Corey Harrison, he grew into the business from the inside, starting with routine tasks and gradually learning how the shop operated. When the show launched in 2009, he became the one viewers connected with. He asked what others wouldn't and made many impulsive moves. That authenticity made him indispensable. Then came March 2016.
Excuse me.
What began as a police investigation tied to a sexual misconduct allegation brought officers to his home with a search warrant. While he was never charged in relation to that allegation, the search revealed something equally damaging: illegal drugs, controlled substances without prescriptions, and multiple firearms were found in his possession. The situation escalated instantly. For someone known for comic relief, the reality was dangerous. Chumley was arrested and faced a series of charges that could have permanently altered his life. His public image shifted overnight from lighthearted to troubled. The case was eventually resolved through a plea deal. He pleaded guilty to a felony weapons charge and a reduced drug offense. Through this, he avoided jail but received probation, mandatory counseling, and strict legal conditions. That moment marked a turning point. Beneath the humor that defined him on screen,
So right now it is like, so it's gonna be raining soon. So we're gonna keep on this right now. There is a 2% chance of a tornado and some hail and some wind, mostly some strong wind.
addressing health risks that had quietly built over years. The physical trend.
We're not watching that anymore. They're not doing a video, which sucks. I'm surprised they're not doing it. And I'm doing it. They're not doing. I'm doing more work than they do. Come on. Yeah, he's from Three Rivers. He should get his ass. Yeah, well, like I said, some people who do their job should do their job properly. Like, take care of the problem that I have to deal with it with. They don't take care of it. So what happens? I do it for free. And that's why I don't.
there is new drama involving the very viral Punch the Monkey in Japan. ABC News.
Well, that'd be different though, because I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Never seen Taxi. Never seen Dumb and Dumber. Never seen that. Never seen that movie. Never seen The Green Hornet. I never seen some of that stuff.
Mom, Dad, our mom got a Apple store. I can't afford any of your products, but can I buy some fake white earbuds so people will think I have a microphone?
Sure. Oh, and they cost $40.
Oh, I'll never.
Right, the score. So here we go. First of all, cost. You got a point for every pound you were under 1,000. So James, that's 100 for you. Jeremy, 100, 250.
Which all cost 750 quid.
Yes, it was. Then the speed. You get a point for every second you were faster than the Stig, or lose one for every one you were slow. James, that's minus 12 for you. Minus 20, Jeremy. Minus 72 for me.
Rightly so.
Then flamboyance. How flamboyant you drove. I've got the judges' results here. James, they said you weren't flamboyant, you got nothing. Sorry. No points at all. Then Jeremy, neither of you. Sorry.
I didn't chase her!
You put Vaseline on the lens, we couldn't see it before.
I should go up to the ship post.
I got a point for driving through the boxes. So,
Your tongue fell off!
This is
ridiculous.
Finally, the decider. Arresting the Stig. Okay. James, you got nothing for that.
What?
That gives you
You didn't get him?
88. I got nothing, so that gives me 179.
You've been building up tension here, haven't you? Because I'm on my so if I get 100 for my bonuses, I won.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah. You got 98, which means you got 170.
I'm sorry. No, hang on. With 1 point less than you. You beat me.
Yes, that happened.
Well, since I am not prepared to go through your stores in the morning to look at the evidence, we have to conclude that the best car for the British police is a Suzuki Vitara with a
Tim Allen once described the
Show just should have got ended sooner. So you should do at least 2 seasons. If I can get my TV show made, or my TV shows made, it'd be pretty cool. Right now, it is got darker outside, and we got the cameras here off camera. So if I need to get one, I will.
Tim Allen once described the end of his own sitcom by saying that when it's just about money and ratings, it's just about over. That single line tells you everything about what happened to some of the most beloved sitcoms of the 1990s. We're counting down 10 shows that we genuinely loved. Shows that defined our childhoods, our Friday nights, our after-school routines, and then stuck around long enough to tarnish their own legacies. Chasing paychecks, swapping out cast members, making creative choices so badly that fans are still arguing about them 3 decades later. If you grew up watching any of these, do me a favor.
No.
Hit that like button.
Just rewind it here. You see here they got here.
His own sitcom by saying that when it's
I saw
just about
reruns
money and ratings, it's just about over. That single line tells
Right,
you
own it.
everything about what happened
Reruns.
to some of the most beloved
In the reboot.
sitcoms of the 1990s. We're counting down 10 shows that we genuinely loved. Shows that defined our childhoods, our Friday nights, our after-school routines, and then stuck around long enough to tarnish their own legacies. Chasing paychecks, swapping out cast
Yes, remember seeing that
making
show.
creative choices so
Remember seeing that
powerful
show.
that fans are still arguing about them 3 decades
Those two
later.
shows are still in there.
If you grew up watching any of these, do me a favor.
Never
Hit that
watched
like
it.
button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and let's take a walk down memory lane, even if it gets a little painful towards the end. Number 10, Coach.
Never seen it.
Starting with one that might catch you off guard. Coach premiered on ABC in February of 1989 and ran 9 seasons,
Never seen it.
200 episodes, with Craig T. Nelson anchoring the whole thing as Hayden Fox, a college football coach at fictional Minnesota State University. Jerry Van Dyke played the lovable Dim Luther. Bill Fagerbaki brought Dauber to life, and Shelley
Never seen
Fabregas
Coach.
rounded out the core as Christine. For years, this formula delivered exactly what it
Never seen
promised.
Coach, so
Low-key, comfortable
doesn't count.
comedy about a guy who loved football and stumbled through everything else. That changed at the end of season 7 when Hayden left Minnesota State to coach an NFL expansion team in Orlando. Gone was the college setting that grounded every storyline. New characters filled seats nobody asked to have filled, including Catherine Hellman as the team's meddling owner, Doris Sherman. Late season plots spiraled into Doris scheming to relocate the team to Los Angeles, a baby adoption storyline, and, I kid you not, an episode where the Breakers lost a snowy playoff game to the Buffalo Bills 63-0. Rotten Tomatoes' own editorial summary of the later seasons nailed it, describing Coach as comfort television, where the characters had turned into loud, boring guests in our living room. 200 episodes is a good run. At least 30 of those didn't earn their spot. Number 9, Boy Meets World.
never seen Boy Meets World.
Boy Meets World debuted on ABC in September of 1993, inside the legendary TGIF lineup, and ran 7 seasons, 158 episodes of Ben Savage as Corey Matthews, Ryder Strong as Sean, Danielle Fishel as
I don't
Topanga,
know.
Will
Don't talk about that.
Friedle
I think that was
as
2000 when
Eric,
it came out.
and William Daniels as the incomparable Mr. Feeney. Early on, this show delivered something rare, a genuine coming-of-age story that balanced comedy with real heart. Cracks opened up after the season 5 high school graduation, when the writers contrived to send every main character and Mr. Feeney to the same college. Organic storytelling gave way to increasingly outlandish plots, and season 7 is where most fans agree the tank hit empty. New additions like Rachel and Jack arrived during seasons 5 through 7, but neither clicked the way the original core group had. By the 1997 to 98 season, ratings were dropping roughly 14% year over year, and the trouble wasn't limited to Boy Meets World. ABC's entire TGIF block was crumbling. The network shut TGIF down after the 1999 to 2000 season. Will Friedle later joked on a podcast that an 8th season could have happened if Sabrina the Teenage Witch hadn't jumped ship to the WB, playfully pinning TGIF's demise on Melissa Joan Hart. Since 2022, the original cast has hosted the Pod Meets World podcast, where they've been remarkably candid, sometimes uncomfortably so, about the behind-the-scenes environment during filming. Number 8. Mad About You.
Never seen it.
Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt star as Paul and Jamie Bookman in Mad About You, which ran on NBC from September 1992 to May 1999. 7 seasons, 164 episodes. At its best, this was a sharp, witty New York comedy about marriage.
Okay, we are. Oh, you guys are sure on. Okay. I'm going to WWMT. News Channel 3's on. Our local CBS affiliate is on YouTube, so we're going to watch this. They're more reliable than Michigan Storm Chasers. A national casino.
As the storm continues to move off to the
Okay,
north
there's
and
been a
east
new
right
warning.
now. This storm is moving off to the north and the east at about 45 miles per hour. It's about to move through Michigan City.
Okay, there's now a warning for Berrien County, Michigan. Berrien and LaPorte counties in
So
Michigan.
that's the only active warning we have right now. Is in
Until
Berrien County, some 60 to 70 mile per hour wind gusts possible. With
this is
this
live or
storm
recorded.
as it moves through that area, and this will continue to move off the north and the east. So looks like it'll move into extremes. These are moving off to the northeast.
Okay, we got warnings now for Berrien County, Michigan.
I'm going to
We're gonna stay on, guys. Okay, we got warning. Okay.
show you at least, over the next hour or so. This kind of gives you an idea of when these storms are going to be. When this line of storms
okay.
are moving into West Michigan. So
36 after New Wajak.
Benton Harbor around 120, South Bend 125, New Wajak a little after 130, and South Haven moving in.
So around 2 o'clock for me.
42. And these storms will continue moving off to the north and the east at about 45 miles per hour. So anywhere northeast of that region, you're going to see these line of storms.
I'm surprised Wilbur has started. Oh, that's right. It's dialed in for South Bend. It's dialed in for St. Joseph and.
Areas like Atwater, Kalamazoo, or Battle Creek.
It's not dialed in for us yet. Is that those radios are dialed in here?
A severe thunderstorm watch issued very shortly. So right now there is a severe thunderstorm watch for Berrien, Cass, St. Joe, and Branch counties. That goes until 6 o'clock this evening. And then we're likely going to see at least the southern counties issued under a watch here pretty shortly. So areas like Allegan, Berry, Eaton, Van Buren, Kalamazoo, Calhoun likely see a severe thunderstorm watch here very shortly. That will also go until 6 o'clock, and you could even see some counties further north under a severe thunderstorm watch. I will get into your hour by hour. As a reminder, we don't disturb Kalamazoo.
Skip rope.
But right now, a severe thunderstorm watch for Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, and Branch counties. You'll likely see a severe thunderstorm watch issued here.
Skip rope.
Shortly.
Say
So let's go ahead and time things out hour by hour. I will go
Skip
ahead
a rope.
pull up the latest hour by hour here, and we'll track these storms as they move further.
I was gonna check the post office. I was gonna check the post. If I can make guys get you the
Right
mail.
now, the only active warning we have is in western Berrien County. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into motion here. This is about 1:30. I will say I think storms are a little ahead of what hour by hour is showing, and they'll continue to move off to the north and the east. So moving into areas like South Haven between 1:30 and 2 o'clock. Then we'll notice this line continuing to move into Kalamazoo between around, say, 2:30 and 3 o'clock. Also moving into Allegan around that time. These will continue to move off to the north and the east. So Battle Creek around 3:30 or so. And granted, this is just an approximate time. Add 30 minutes before, add 30 minutes after, and that's kind of your window of opportunity to see these storms moving through your area. And then by around 5 or 6 o'clock, most of these storms are moving off to the east. So it's really here over the next 15 minutes till about 5 o'clock that we have to be on guard for some scattered showers and some thunderstorms. But much of the area is going to be impacted by this line of thunderstorms. Not everyone's going to see severe level winds, but everyone's probably going to see some rain, some heavy downpours, frequent lightning, and we will see some areas of damaging wind gusts. So there was a 79 mile per hour wind gust at the Midway International Airport, and that is near Chicago. And that was from the same line of storms that's moving in our direction. So
It's getting dark, Robin. If we lose power, we are going to camera power. The camera's still, so we got 3 cameras on battery power.
So sometimes Lake Michigan can do some weird things, but I will go ahead and show you that radar again. And they're not weakening as they move over Lake Michigan right now. So let's go ahead.
We're gonna stay on here until we're staying on here until further notice.
What is the latest going on here, right? So we do have those thunderstorms that are continuing to move off to the north and the east. Right now, Michigan to St. Joseph, Michigan. These are going to continue moving off to the north and the east.
Let's see, guys. That's Berrien County, Michigan. So it's not officially in my area to watch. So the tip of Berrien County, Michigan, which is not in our viewing area, is in our thunderstorm warning. We do Cass County and St. Joseph County, Michigan. It's Berrien County, which is not part of our area, but the Benton Harbor area, the Three Oaks area, is yeah. Tell.
So that Berrien and LaPorte County warning that's popping up, that's for Central Time. Eastern time would be 1:30 is when that warning.
So that warning ends.
It's possible that we see some 70-mile-per-hour winds with this.
Okay, we'll make it went to 70 mile an hour. Wow. Where my phone's charging right now. So if we lose power, I'm sorry in advance. If we lose power, the computer we'll have no internet left for a while. So we're staying on, guys, until we lose power. When we lose power, we're going to have to get off. There's a watch until 6 p.m. Eastern time today. There's a warning for there's a thunderstorm warning for Berrien and LaPorte County, Indiana, until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hail size up to 0.75 inch.
As these storms race into West Michigan. So we're going to be watching. This is the line. This is our chance for severe weather today. Once this line moves through, we're done. We do have another chance for some strong or severe thunderstorms tomorrow. But in terms of today, it's really this afternoon from about now until about 5 o'clock. That's when these storms will kind of race through West Michigan. But right now, we do have an active warning for western Berrien County until 1:30 this afternoon.
Okay, there's Valpo. There's Valpo and Michigan City.
Right now, we only have a severe thunderstorm watch for Berrien, Cass, St.Joseph, and Branch counties. This will be extended any minute now. The latest from the National Weather Service is...
You see that those sirens will go off. I'll get the weather radio. I'll get the AMF straight real quick.
So it will show up on our graphics, and it will show up on any of your apps.
That's a good song. This is a good song. I gotta turn this off due to copyright. But yeah, we'll stay on until. Okay, they're showing part of. Well, we haven't got no warning yet. Nice thing. I never dialed it for South. I never dialed it for Berrien County. I only dialed it for St. Joseph and Cass. Yeah, I did dial it for Cass again. Yeah, I changed it. Remember, I changed it.
So I see you asking about Acosta. You guys could certainly be dealing with some thunderstorms, but really anywhere south of 96 is where I'm mostly concerned about. And then once you get north of 96, it's kind of you're on the fringe, right? Maybe.
Okay, we're south of 96. We're on 31. If they say 31, 31, they would be careful because we're on 131. 131's like 2 blocks that way. 131's like 2 blocks that way from our location. But yeah, right now Berrien County is under a warning. Berrien County is under a warning. That's communities of Three Oaks, Ben Harbor, and St. Joseph, Michigan, until 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. TV source WWMT Channel 3 on YouTube. Okay. Okay.
I would say these storms. This is an approximate or an estimate rather of when this line will move.
That's wrong.
So add 30 minutes ahead, add 30 minutes behind, and that should give you a good window of any.
So any minute now, we should hit the in the landshore, Michigan.
It's hitting Berrien County around 1 o'clock, 1:30.
We're gonna stay on here for notes, guys. So we're gonna keep on. Okay, so. Okay, come on, show my area. Okay, around 2:30-ish is when we're gonna get hit. Our studio is based in Three Rivers. I'm just gonna say again, if we lose power, sorry in advance. We do got cameras and we do got batteries for cameras.
So now we're looking at St. Joseph County, 2:30, 3 o'clock, Three Rivers. Moving into Battle Creek around 2:45, 3 o'clock, 3:15, and they'll continue to move off to the east from there. Notice by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
I'll put the radio right here, so I have to get to it. I can grab it and go downstairs. But I think it's very rarely we'll even be going downstairs. The only thing we're going to have is maybe hail. But right now, there's nothing right now happening in our area until around 2 to 3 o'clock.
We're going to be clear of severe weather through tonight, and then we do have the chance for some thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. So, once again, kind of moving into Berrien County very shortly. They're under an active warning. And then it's going to be moving off the north.
We're going to watch till 6 p.m. tonight.
We're going to be watching the evolution of these storms And as long as there's an active warning in West Michigan, we're going to be here kind of updating you guys and walking you through, talking you through.
On air and online.
Here with these storms.
Okay, there's some rain outside Holland.
And show you our line of thunderstorms that are tracking. Look at all that lightning. Quite a bit of heavy rain as well. And this storm, if you're just now jumping in, has had a history of producing some 70 to 80 mile per hour winds.
Berrien County, LaPorte County, Berrien County, Michigan, LaPorte County, Indiana. Until 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wind speeds up to 70 miles an hour and hail up to 0.75 of an inch. Currently in Valparaiso, heading towards Michigan. It's right now touching the state line right now.
This is going to probably bring some really gusty winds, possibly some damaging winds to a good chunk of West Michigan here over the next several hours. So right now, these storms look to be moving into Berrien County. So if you're down in the New Buffalo area, probably seeing some rain or
New Buffalo, Galene.
Winds picking up this morning in effect until 1:30. So it goes for another 32 minutes or so. And this storm is capable of producing some 60 to 70 mile per hour.
Michigan City right now, Michigan City, Indiana right now is getting pounded right now.
Strong storm, a very strong line. That's going to be moving.
If Cass County or St. Joseph County gets alarmed, we will get notified. And that's it. But at this time, nothing right now.
We still don't have that severe thunderstorm watch, but we will see a watch issued very shortly for a good chunk of West Michigan, at least for those areas along and south of I-96. That will likely go until 6 o'clock this evening, but the threat will probably end before 6 o'clock. So they go ahead and cancel that watch once your threat ends. They can kind of trim county by county, but they issue a large watch all at the same time.
So Berrien, Cass, St. Joseph, Branch, and Hillsdale counties until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My radio needs to shut. My tablet needs to be quiet because it's popping and bopping like hell.
Okay, this is a day where we're going to be dealing with severe thunderstorms, and then once that warning is issued, that's when you need to take action, right? That's when there's an immediate threat for some strong winds and possibly some hail. But with this line, what we're most worried about are straight line damaging winds of 60 to 80 miles per hour. There is the chance
He's live, which is surprising. Michigan Universe is never live.
Tornado, but the main concern here today is going to be that threat for some straight line damaging winds.
There's some rain outside of
So still, Berrien County is the only active warning.
Michigan's getting hit.
I'm going to go ahead and check in with the National Weather Service here and see if there's any important updates that I can pass along to you. So not hearing any reports in northwestern Indiana right now. No ground observations, anything. But I will continue to monitor, be able to chat with the National Weather Service emergency responders.
It's not going to happen, don't worry. They do that.
Idea of what's actually happening on the ground, right? So it's one thing to see it on radar. It's another thing to get those ground reports. Kind of hear some real life action, what's going on the ground, right? But right now, this line means business. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the latest hour by hour. If you're wondering about when will it hit me, here's your answer. All right, so moving into the lakeshore
Who's
right
calling?
now, Berrien County specifically. So I will say,
They're picking up.
this is showing those storms arriving to where they are right now at 1:30. So I think the hour by hour is off by about 30 minutes. So
Spam.
when you see the storms that I'm showing on hour by hour at your area, subtract 30 minutes. And that's probably about the time you're actually going to see it. Right? Sometimes it takes a little bit for these models to catch up with the exact speed and the evolution.
Barry's poking me.
Ben Harbor, you're looking at about 1:30. This shows 2, subtract 30 minutes. Ben Harbor, St. Joe, you're looking at about 1:30. South Haven, 1:45, 2 o'clock or so. That includes Duwajack as well. This will move off to the north and the east. So now we're looking at Allegan around 2 o'clock. Getting into the Matawan area around 2 o'clock. Holland, 2 o'clock. So these will continue to race off to the north and the east. So Kalamazoo, roughly around 2:30 is when these storms will probably enter into our region. And that's the same in this area. You know, it's uncertain how far north these storms will be strong or severe. Right now, I say the slam dunk south of I-96 that we're going to see severe thunderstorm warnings. But I wouldn't be off guard, right? I think that we could see some severe thunderstorm warnings issued north of I-96 as well, just given how quickly these storms have kind of blossomed. All right, so asking about Schoolcraft Vicksburg. Right now, that's moving over Schoolcraft Vicksburg. 30 o'clock, subtract 30 minutes, 2:30 April. And then these storms will continue to move off to the east. So moving into Battle Creek around 3 o'clock, Hastings 3 o'clock, Marshall around 3:15 or so, Coldwater 3:15 or so.
Pickford.
Now, this is all just an approximate guess.
I'll be in Marshall right now.
Really,
I wish I had my own TV station in Three Rivers.
5 o'clock that we really need to be on guard for the potential for some strong or severe thunderstorms. So they just issued a severe thunderstorm watch, and it looks like it does go a little further north than I was expecting. So that kind of goes to show that the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, they have confidence that maybe, areas further north, more than 96 now, have a chance of some strong severe thunderstorms.
Wow.
So all of West Michigan,
They hit the whole state.
now under a
The whole state's now under a watch.
until 8 o'clock.
Severe thunderstorm watch till 8 p.m. for the whole state of Michigan.
Specifically is done by about 5 or 6 o'clock. So they'll probably
So they just updated the warning for the whole viewing area of West Michigan, except Oceana County.
Right now, almost all of West Michigan under that severe thunderstorm watch until 8 o'clock this evening. Remember, watch means that conditions are favorable.
Severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for the whole state of Michigan, except Oceana County, Michigan, until 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Like we're going to see some severe thunderstorms, but they haven't gotten here yet.
Rivers at 97.1 and W295 DA Sturgis at 106.9. This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Steve Kaifman. A move by President Trump to use a new government fund to compensate his allies who've been prosecuted comes just hours after he dropped a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS.
Instead of looking at hour by hour, let's use what we have here. So the actual severe thunderstorm warning is in effect until 1:30. I'm going to go ahead.
Right now it's 1:03 p.m. Eastern Time, so
draw a
we're
little track
going to turn this up a little bit.
and move it off the northeast.
I have so much shit here. I don't know where half the shit is.
This gives you an idea of when the storms will be moving into your area. All right.
No post today, so that's good.
125. Duwatchak between 130, 140. South Haven around 145. Decatur around 150. Antwerp around 2 o'clock. Okay. So these will continue to move off.
Duwatchak's us.
This isn't going to label every single city.
Niles.
Because if it did, you wouldn't be able to see radar. But kind of know where you are on the map. And that is when these storms.
I don't see Fabius. I don't see
really, over the course of the
Marshall.
next hour,
Marcellus. We're good.
looking at Berrien, we're looking at Southwest Allegan, we're looking at Van Buren.
I see
we're
Antwerp. I
looking
see
at
Decatur.
Counties. And then it will continue moving off to the north and the east from there. So then
South Bend, 125. Niles, 125. Decatur, 149. Antwerp, 201.
Right now,
So around 2 o'clock for us.
The only folks that need to be taking immediate action are in Western
Pakistan,
Berrien County. I'm assuming that the National Weather Service will go ahead and expand this warning here very shortly.
Well, no, because the railroad starts squealing.
Until 1:30.
But we're staying on until we lose power. Or we're staying until 6.
On that warning. Not seeing any
Fast.
thunderstorm reports in northwest Indiana right now, but I'll continue monitoring those for any updates. But I can tell you that earlier, it was during our news show, I believe around 12:20 or 12:15 or so, there was a report of a 79-mile-per-hour wind gust at Midway Airport near Chicago.
Yep.
These storms had a history. I mean, that was a ground report. That was, happening, right? So,
That was at 12:15 because at 12:20 got off.
From this storm.
I came in here and got everything set up.
Complex as it continues to move off to the north and the east. So this kind of gives you an idea of who will be experiencing those storms over the next hour, and I'm going to be with you. So we'll update it as it goes. But right now, the only active warning we have is Western Berrien County, and Berrien, Van Buren, Cass, and Western Allegan. You're going to be on guard over the course of the next hour for some strong or severe thunderstorms.
If we have to, we can
Right
go into
now,
the bed.
The active warning we have is Western Berrien. So let's go ahead and look over that watch again.
Severe thunderstorm watch until 8 p.m. for the whole state.
For most of West Michigan.
That's Oceana.
Oceana County. That's in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. That's window for severe weather is now until about 5 o'clock. storms are moving from southwest to northeast. So Berrien, you're getting in on the action first, and then it will continue to move northeast into Van Buren, Cass, Allegan counties, then Ottawa, Barrie, Kalamazoo, St. Joseph counties, and continue to move off to the north and the east from there. Between the hours of 1 o'clock, pretty much right now, and about 5 o'clock is when I expect these storms to be moving out of the area. So it looks like we have some new severe thunderstorm warnings. So let's go ahead and see
new warnings.
What's going on there. Looks like actually they're actually south of our area, but I wouldn't be surprised to see the rest of Berrien County and western Cass, western Van Buren counties under severe thunderstorm warning here very shortly. Let's go ahead and scan velocity and kind of get a sense of
velocity. Okay. They issued warnings for Indiana, southern Indiana, which, you know, ooh, we got something here, Michigan City. We got something. Okay.
Not seeing any.
Ooh, there goes the post. Back in a second. Right to the post.
Velocity. And I will say this is kind of a weird area that's in between radars. So a lot of times we can have stronger winds at the surface than what radar is able to pick up above.
Baby.
Because this is an area that's kind of a bit further away from those radars that are central or that are located in Syracuse, Indiana, and then also Grand Rapids, Michigan. So the closer you are to the radar, the better idea you have of what exactly is going on closer to the ground rather than well above the surface. But right now, I'm certainly seeing some 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts that are showing up on our velocity signature, but certainly this storm has a history of producing some much stronger winds of 70 to 80 miles per hour. So we're going to be watching this line as it continues to move off to the north and the east. I'll go ahead and zoom out here real quick. And you'll notice this line kind of extending, it's kind of midway across Lake Michigan between Waukegan and Holland. And then it extends further south into all the way down into central Indiana. There's some active severe thunderstorm warnings right now. But I'll go ahead and put this into motion. These storms moving on to the north and the east at about 45
Nothing to say, guys. Put in the chat. I'll read it.
The severe thunderstorm warning issued pretty shortly for eastern Berrien, perhaps western Cass, and southwest of Van Buren County. No word from the National Weather Service yet about those additional warnings, but we'll be watching that pretty closely for you. While we are waiting for that other warning to be issued, let's go ahead and show you hour by hour again and kind of give you a sense of when those storms move into your location. All right, hour by hour, I will say hour by hour is about 30 minutes off here. All right, so storms right now at 1:10 are where they have storms at about 1:30. So I would subtract 30 minutes, and that's about the time that you'll see storms entering your area. So let's put this into motion here.
Okay.
So Benton Harbor and St. Joe, Niles, that area.
Michigan, not the county.
1:30 or 1:45. These will continue to move off to the northeast. So South Haven, before 2 o'clock, so when these storms will kind of be entering your area. Same with western Allegan, areas like Holland, potentially even as far north as Muskegon. These will continue to move off to the north and the east. So let's go ahead and advance this to around, this says 3 o'clock, but I think subtract 30 minutes, right? So 2:30 is when we'll see these storms moving into the Grand Rapids area, Kalamazoo, Three Rivers, Sturgis, and they'll continue to move off to the north and the east from there. So around 3 o'clock.
Should be Resignful right about now.
That these storms will move into the area like east of Hastings, Battle Creek, Coldwater, around 3 or 3:30. This continues to move off to the east, and around 3:15 or 3:30, move into the Marshall area and continue, a lot, and then they'll continue to race off to the east. So by I think 5 o'clock, these storms are out of here. So it's really this window between now and about 5 o'clock that these storms will be moving into West Michigan. And not everyone's going to see damaging winds, I will say. But we'll probably see a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, and inside those warnings, we could see the chance for some isolated damaging wind gusts. These storms have a history of producing some 70 to 80 mile per hour winds, some very strong winds with these storms that have already been reported in the Chicagoland area. And right now, those particular storms are moving over Lake Michigan, but between now and 5 o'clock, moving through almost the entire region. So let's go ahead and take a look back at our latest scan of Doppler radar to give you an idea of what exactly is going on right now. So we do have that active strip on the
Outside, some stores outside of South Haven and Muskegon and Holland.
Looks like there's just an update. So let's see what that is. Still looking at 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible with that storm, and that's in effect until 1:30. I'm going to go ahead and just look here at the National Weather Service and see why they updated that warning. Now it's okay, so it's moving off to the north and the east at about 60 miles an hour now. So it's speeding up, and it's moving at 60 miles per hour. There's a good chance that we're going to see some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, right, with this storm. But we're even getting some higher reports as high as 70 miles per hour as well. So I'm going to go ahead and flip back over to radar here.
Yeah, I'm going to do that right now.
Let me give you a new track because
Give me a minute, guys.
This thing is clearly speeding up. This line of storm is clearly speeding up. So I want to pause this.
I'm gonna do this real quick here. I'm gonna roll up these windows real quick.
Of when I think these storms will be impacting each area over the course of the next hour or so. So these are moving off to the northeast at about 60 miles per hour. I'm going to extend this tool to about 60 miles per hour. So here's kind of the latest thinking for storms. We'll say these storms are speeding up. So, I think we need to be ready a little earlier than originally anticipated. Okay, so here's kind of the latest on
crap! I didn't hear this.
Harbor, around between 1:15, 1:20 is when we'll likely see those storms moving into your area. Dowagiac, around 1:30. South Haven,
2 o'clock for Kalamazoo.
1:40.
It's 2 o'clock for us.
Around 1:45. Yeah. Kalamazoo,
What's it 2 o'clock for us?
Is about 2 o'clock, 2 to 2:10. And then Comstock from there. So
we'll go with Kalamazoo says. 2
o'clock.
o'clock-ish, yeah.
Kind of showing where that Boeing line of storms is going to be moving to the north and the east. The storm does have a history of producing some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. Looks like there's not quite as much lightning as there was before.
Ooh,
really
St. Joseph, South Bend has issued a warning.
And potentially some 60 or 70 mile
South Bend has issued a warning, so Cass County might be going off soon.
Another severe thunderstorm warning off to our south, South Bend, now under severe thunderstorm warning. But I'm not seeing any new warning in West Michigan. Let's go ahead and switch over to our velocity signature here.
Okay, so South Bend has issued a warning. So St. Joseph County, Indiana has issued a warning. So we're gonna. That's South Bend area. So Dowagiac might begin. So Cass County might get a warning. Ooh. Okay. South Bend might get a warning soon. We might get a warning. Cass County might get a warning soon.
Northwest Indiana, some really strong winds at least showing up on our velocity signature. So we'll continue to watch the evolution of that. Sometimes Lake Michigan can temporarily weaken those storms as it moves over a cooler, more stable air mass.
So
and then we get through those winds.
1:15 right now, East Coast time, and
so severe thunderstorm watch for almost all of West Michigan. It's in effect until 8 o'clock this evening. But that best chance is between now and about 5 o'clock this evening for this line of storms to move through the area and could bring some damaging wind gusts to the region. That's the biggest concern. It's damaging wind gusts. But I'm not going to rule out some hail, and we could see a brief isolated tornado. But once again, the main concern here with this line of storms is damaging wind gusts, straight line damaging wind gusts as it moves off to the north and the east. So I'm going to focus here on radar now that we have storms that are moving into West Michigan. Still have that severe thunderstorm warning active for another 15 minutes in western Berrien County. No word from the National Weather Service that they are going to extend that warning or expand that warning, I should say, further off to the north and the east. And that may be because there's not very strong winds showing up on our velocity signature right now. So storms do look a little weaker north of the Michigan-Indiana line, at least weaker than they were in Chicago, when they produced some 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts. So we'll hope that's the trend. We'll hope that these storms don't produce any damaging wind gusts. But certainly you're going to be seeing some rain. You're going to have some heavy downpours and quite a bit of lightning as well as these storms continue to move through most of West Michigan. And we'll just see as these storms get a little further inland, we could see them intensify, right? A lot of times they'll weaken, especially in the springtime. over the cooler waters of Lake Michigan. And then as soon as they get back over a more unstable air mass, they'll strengthen. Okay, so the National Weather Service did expand this morning.
Cass County.
Further off to the east. So
Wait a second now, we'll get the buzzer off.
County now under severe thunderstorm warning. We also have
There we go.
The National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for western Cass County in southwestern Michigan, Berrien County in southwestern Michigan, until 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 1:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near St. Joseph to near Bridgman to near New Carlisle to near North Liberty, moving northeast at 60 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Niles, Benton Harbor, St. Joseph, Dowagiac, Buchanan, Fair Plain, Benton Heights, Bridgman, Berrien Springs, Watervliet, Coloma, Edwardsburg, Steffensville, Paw Paw Lake, Lake Michigan Beach, Bertrand, Pokagon, Dayton, Sodas, and Riverside. This includes the following highways: Interstate 196 between mile markers 0 and 7. Interstate 94 in Michigan between mile markers 14 and 42. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Michigan: Berrien and Cass.
So if you're just now tuning in, stop this.
Hey, Nicole, hey, take us with you.
No more movement anymore. This is just where storms currently are. But I'm doing that because I want to give you the latest idea of when storms will be moving into your general area. Let's go ahead and bring this down. Moving on to the northeast.
Okay, yay, doing Three Rivers, should be. That's what we want to see.
All right,
Three Rivers, 2 o'clock.
Harbor, moving in pretty quickly. Dowagiac, a little after 1:30. You got to be on board for some thunderstorms.
Three Rivers, 2 o'clock.
All right, Three Rivers, right around 2 o'clock. Kalamazoo, right around 2 o'clock. Sturgis, you're looking at about 2:10 or so. And these storms will be moving into your area. Corey, thank you so much. If you are in this storm and can give us live reports, that is extremely helpful. Just like Corey is doing right now, currently in Stevensville, and the wind gust is gnarly. All right, so that's a ground report. That is actual reports from the ground. So Corey, thank you so much. That's extremely helpful. So these storms producing some, as Corey calls it, gnarly wind gusts right now in the Stevensville area. And they'll continue to move on.
I know that's at.
Strong winds possibly. Certainly going to be dealing with some heavy rain and some lightning as these storms continue to move off to the north and the east. Right now, the active warnings are for Berrien County, eastern Berrien County under a warning until 2 o'clock. And also western Cass County is too. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that. And Catherine asking, will these storms be producing any hail? Maybe some small hail, Catherine. But right now we haven't gotten any reports of damaging hail, which is going to be quarter-sized hail or 1 inch in diameter hail. Okay, so quarter is about 1 inch in diameter. So when you hear quarter-sized hail, the 1 inch diameter hail, that's what it takes for it to be damaging hail. So maybe some small hail, but the bigger concern here is damaging winds.
Allegan County and Van Buren County has got issued.
A new severe thunderstorm warning this time
For Van Buren and Allegan
County and western Allegan County. The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning. So let me go ahead and zoom in on that warning, and you'll see that box pop up on the top left side of your screen.
Okay. South Haven, Lawrence, Allegan.
Winds and Van Buren and western Allegan
Decatur.
County, some 60 mile per hour wind gusts possible as this line of storms moves into the region. This is in effect until 2:15 p.m. So a good 55 minutes. that this warning is in effect for western Allegan and Van Buren counties. These storms are just moving very quickly. So the National Weather Service kind of jumping ahead, right, issuing that warning, giving everyone as much notice as possible. But 2:15 is the time that the severe thunderstorm warning expires. So between now and 2:15.
Right now it's 1:20 p.m. Eastern Time.
60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and eastern Berrien, western Cass, Van Buren, and western Allegan counties. Those are the people we need to take immediate action. Patrick says he's
So Allen County and Van Buren County is issued the warning like within a second ago.
Certainly is. I don't have the ability to switch the cameras around where I'm at right now. Not in the actual studio, I'm in the digital studio. But yeah, I'm sure that it is absolutely dumping rain out there, Patrick. Thank you for that update. And yeah, you'll notice the wind's already picking up in areas like Kalamazoo and Three Rivers. It's just windy ahead of this cold front, or ahead of this line of storms, I should say. This isn't a cold front, sorry. But ahead of this line of storms, you're going to slowly start to feel the winds picking up. But those really strong winds are going to be moving through when this line of storms moves through. So just ahead of that line of storms. For everyone tuning in that's wondering about your city, I'm going to go ahead and pull up hour by hour. And I want to update hour by hour real quick. So give me 1 second. I just want to give you the freshest information as possible, right? So I'm going to change this to our rapid refresh model. And this should give us a little better idea. Okay, that's still behind. This is where storms are. It's 1:20 right now, and it's showing that the storms are there at 2 o'clock. So I would subtract 30 minutes from what you're seeing. So this will be moving into Van Buren and western Cass County very shortly. And then moving into like Kalamazoo around 2 o'clock or so, 2:30. Allegan, same time. Grand Rapids, a little after that. And that will continue to move off to the north and the east from there. But between now and about 4 or 5 o'clock, that's when you need to be on guard for severe thunderstorm warnings. This line is moving from southwest to northeast at about 60 miles per hour. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up radar again, Doppler radar. You might see the screen go black for just a second while radar loads. And I'm going to draw an active storm tracker on our live Doppler radar. So that'll give you a good idea of when storms will be moving into the area, at least those that will experience storms here over the next hour or so. So I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to stop this. It takes concentration to draw. Okay, and then we're going to put this off to the north and the east at about 60 miles per hour. So this will give you an idea of when storms will move into your particular area. Dowagiac, a little after 1:30, Allegan, right around 2 o'clock, Kalamazoo, a little after 2 o'clock. Could be as far north as Byron, around 2:15, Byron Center that is, and continues to move off to the north and the east from there. So this is the line that we're watching. This is our severe thunderstorm chance for the day. And then once this line moves through, you're severe clear. So really between now and about 4 or 5 o'clock is when we have to be on guard for severe weather. I'm going to go ahead and put this back into motion and look at the National Weather Service here. See if there's anything I'm missing, any updates from the ground. Not seeing much. They just issued that warning for Van Buren and Allegan counties that I've been telling you guys about. And I'm not seeing anything from northern Indiana either. So I'll continue to kind of comb those or chat with the National Weather Service in case there's any new information coming in from these storms. But this gives you a good idea of when they'll move through these particular areas. So you can kind of see those colors, right? So that kind of gives you a sense of each, 15 minutes where the storm is moving, right? So Kalamazoo, a little after 2 o'clock. We are looking at the potential for some storms tomorrow, but it's looking like the best chance for stronger storms is going to be southeast of Kalamazoo tomorrow. We'll get a more clear picture tomorrow once these storms pass. My focus is going to be on these storms right now that are moving into West Michigan. But I would say there's a higher chance for more widespread, stronger severe thunderstorms between today rather than tomorrow. All right, so this is the latest storm track. Dowagiac, you're on guard for some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Moving into that area around 1:35. So here in the next 10 minutes is when that rain will start. You could even have the winds picking up a little earlier than that. All right. So the National Weather Service just giving me a little update here. They do say that there's a good amount of instability in our atmosphere right now across West Michigan, especially a little further from the lake. So the damaging wind threat will continue. Especially, there is the potential that these storms could rapidly strengthen once they get to around the 131 corridor, where there's a lot more instability in the atmosphere right now. But there are some wind gusts coming in. I'm just going to make sure that Okay, so Benton Harbor's airport just recorded a 55-mile-per-hour wind gust. That coming in from the National Weather Service. So this storm right now, we have ground truth that some 55, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts are being reported. And this is in a more stable air mass right now, closer to the cooler waters of Lake Michigan. So the further east these storms move, the stronger or the better chance they have of strengthening. So we just got to watch this very closely here. But this is kind of the timing. Dowagiac around 1:30, 1:35. Allegan, right around 2 o'clock is when these storms will kind of move into your area. Kalamazoo around 2 o'clock. And then it will continue to move off to the north and the east. So it'll probably be storming, really windy, for about 15, maybe 20 minutes, maybe heavy rain for about a half hour. And then after that, we'll just see some shower activity. So this is in and out very quickly. You're only going to experience that heavy rain and lightning for about a half hour. And then after that, we'll just see some lighter rain for another hour or so, and then it'll probably dry up. So I'm saying that the risk for severe weather across all of West Michigan is between now and 4 o'clock, but any particular area is only going to experience severe weather for about 30 minutes. So let me go ahead and put this back into motion. And delete that. But right now we have active severe thunderstorm warnings for Berrien County, western Cass County. Those are in effect until 2 o'clock, so another 30 minutes for those warnings there. All of Van Buren and western Allegan County, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning as well until 2:15. So let's go ahead and zoom in on that. Some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible with this line of storms that is moving from the southwest to northeast at about 60 miles per hour. So you'll probably notice the storm clouds darkening, the winds picking up really quick, and that rain coming fast. All right, these storms are racing. These aren't slow-moving thunderstorms. These are quickly moving thunderstorms, and that's why we have that threat for some strong winds and potentially some damaging winds, some 60-mile-per-hour winds. Yolanda, you're very welcome. Jerry asking about South Haven. So yeah, South Haven here in the next probably about 10, 15 minutes. That's why you're under severe thunderstorm warning. So if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning right now, this means take immediate action because these storms are on your doorstep, which is Van Buren County, all of Van Buren County, western Allegan, Berrien County, and western Cass County. That's where we have a active severe thunderstorm warning for some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. You're just now jumping in. Damaging winds, straight line winds are the primary concern with this line of storms. I'm not going to rule out some small hail, but the small hail probably won't do any damage, right? It takes quarter size or 1-inch diameter hail to start getting concerned. This would be little pea-sized hail. So the greatest concern is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which can take down large tree branches. It can take down trees itself. It can uproot some trees if they're not in the best shape. So that's when we start to get concerned once we start seeing these wind gusts that are around 60 miles per hour or stronger. And we have had a history of seeing some 70 to 80 mile per hour wind gusts in Chicagoland. So right now, I think these storms are a little weaker, moving over the cooler waters of Lake Michigan. But if you didn't hear me earlier, we have a lot more instability, which is kind of thunderstorm fuel, right? Thunderstorms feed on instability. And we have more of that right around the 131 corridor and further east. So I think as these storms continue to move away from West Michigan, or as these storms continue to move away from Lake Michigan, we could see them get even stronger. So that's why they have a severe thunderstorm warning for Van Buren, Allegan, Western Cass, and Berrien counties until about 2 or 2:15, depending on your exact location. But be prepared for some strong winds and also some heavy rain. If you are in Berrien County, if you are in Western Cass County, if you are in Van Buren County and have any updates, aka what you're seeing right now, what you're experiencing, it'd be very helpful if you go ahead and put that in the chat so that everyone, including myself, can see, what's going on. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? That would be super helpful. And then of course our chime in page as well, www.mt.com/chime in. If you do have any pictures or videos, damage reports, and you want to send those into our chime in page, that would be very helpful as well, so that we can get a sense of what you're seeing and what you're dealing with, right? But right now, not seeing anything in our chime in page about storms. But I'll go ahead and continue to monitor that as well as the National Weather Service too. So nothing new from the National Weather Service other than a 55-mile-per-hour wind gust at Benton Harbor. Okay, you must have heard me talking. New wind gust report just came in. Let me see where that's from. Okay, here we go. Benton Heights. Okay, so that's Benton Harbor, a new refresh update. 63-mile-per-hour wind gust in Benton Harbor. That is a damaging wind gust. Anything over 58 miles per hour is capable of producing damage. So it confirms 63-mile-per-hour wind gusts at Benton Harbor, and these storms expected to strengthen as they continue moving off to the north and the east. So these storms are certainly severe and could be producing some damage here as they move through West Michigan. Right now, kind of the brunt of the storm right over Berrien County, right over Benton Harbor, St. Joe, moving into Western Cass and southwestern Van Buren County. And we're not going to really see anything stopping this line, right? This is going to continue to keep chugging along. So I'm thinking most of West Michigan is probably going to see a severe thunderstorm warning at some point. Corey Smith, heavy winds in Stevensville. Some of my coworkers are reporting down trees and down power lines. All right, Corey, super helpful. Thank you so much. So some reports of down trees in Berrien County and down power lines as well. All right, so these storms producing damaging wind gusts of 60 miles per hour or stronger. And now we're starting to get some reports of damage. Corey, thank you so much. Andrew, probably around 2 or 2:30 is when we'll see these storms moving into Kalamazoo. We are not under an active severe thunderstorm warning in Kalamazoo right now, but Van Buren and Western Allegan are under a severe thunderstorm warning, and we will likely see a severe thunderstorm warning issued here over the next 30 minutes for Kalamazoo, for Eastern Cass, and for St. Joseph counties. They just try not to issue a warning too far in advance. We want to give you enough time to prepare, but not too much time where you kind of forget about it, right? So that's why we have an active severe thunderstorm watch in effect for almost all of West Michigan. That just gives you a sense of, okay, we're going to be dealing with severe thunderstorms today. We have all the ingredients there. But once a warning is issued, that's when we're concerned for an immediate threat for 60 mile per hour or greater winds, heavy rain, and also some lightning as well. You're very welcome, Andrew. If anyone has any more reports of damage, what you're experiencing, if you're in Berrien County, if you're in western Cass County, Julia saying in Millwood, the clouds are rolling in. Yeah, you're going to start seeing that. And what I'm noticing as well is we're seeing some isolated thunderstorms forming, like right here near Constantine. That's not the actual line of storms. These are not going to be doing damage. But if we see more of these storms forming, that might try to actually steal energy ahead of this line of storms. So that would actually help potentially try to weaken this massive line of storms right now that extends from just offshore of Holland all the way down into central Indiana. But, right now there's a lot of instability. There's a lot of ingredients. We have plenty of moisture. You probably notice it's really humid. You're starting to sweat as soon as you walk out the door. All these ingredients are coming into place to allow these thunderstorms in an environment to really strengthen. So expect these storms to continue moving along. I have seen some reports of down trees and power lines. Thank you to Corey. Shout out to Corey for sending in those reports there, at least his coworkers sending in those reports here in Stevensville. So of course, Stevensville, one area that was already hit south of St. Joe, but these are going to continue. These storms are going to continue moving off to the north and the east. Julia, yeah, certainly is the weather you can wear, right? Not only the humidity, but you'll probably be coated in a lot of rain here as well as these storms continue moving off to the north and the east. Getting a new report from the National Weather Service, another 60-mile-per-hour wind gust was reported in St. Joe. That's capable of doing damage, all right? So 60-mile-per-hour wind gust at the St. Joe Pier, 63-mile-per-hour wind gust reported at the Benton Harbor Airport. These storms are producing strong winds and will continue to produce strong winds as they move off to the north and the east. So active severe thunderstorm warning right now for western Cass until 2 o'clock, so another 20 or so minutes. All of Van Buren and western Allegan until 2:15. This storm has been producing 60 to 65-mile-per-hour winds already in West Michigan. And when it was in Chicago, it was producing 70 to 80-mile-per-hour winds. And I expect these storms to strengthen once again. They've weakened a little bit. Lake Michigan will do that this time of year, just how cool that water is. You know, the warmer the environment, the better chance these storms can strengthen. Now that they're moving back on land, expect these storms to strengthen up quite a bit. South Haven Area Chamber of Commerce, thank you so much for that report. Wind just picked up here in South Haven. You'll see, if I stop this radar, these storms, you're about to see the rain really coming down. So you'll skip this, you'll get these strong winds just ahead of that line, just ahead of this rain. And then you'll have the rain, continued gusty winds, some lightning as well. Maybe even a little bit of hail right now in Berrien County. Let's zoom in near Pipestone. So kind of eastern Berrien County, just east of US 31, in between 31 and M140. Maybe a little bit of hail trying to mix in. Probably not anything that's going to do damage. The bigger concern here is some 60 to 65-mile-per-hour winds. But certainly could be seeing a little bit of small hail mixing in as well. Erica, winds picking up already in Pawpaw. Thank you so much for that report. Of course, you guys are under the severe thunderstorm warning until 2:15 there in Pawpaw. And you'll notice how far away that rain is. I'll zoom in here for anyone not familiar with Pawpaw, where it is. Where'd it go? Sometimes this system can be a little tricky. All right, so there's Pawpaw. You can see that on the right side of your screen. Keep that in your vision. And look at how far away the rain is. It's near Hartford right now, all right, just west of Lawrence, and the winds are already picking up in Pawpaw. So it goes to show those winds will pick up ahead of the rain. So if you're looking at radar yourself, expect those winds to pick up even sooner than the rain that's hitting your area, okay? So that's why they issued a severe thunderstorm warning ahead of time for Van Buren and also western Allegan County. I would expect eastern Cass County to see a severe thunderstorm warning issued here any second. Still waiting on the National Weather Service to do that, but they just updated this morning in western Cass County. Okay, so exactly what I was noticing. They now included the chance for some penny-sized hail and that storm in Berrien and western Cass County. So are seeing a little bit of hail mixing in, but not any severe hail yet. The greater concern is those 60-mile-per-hour winds. And that's why we have that severe thunderstorm warning right now for western Cass, also into Van Buren and western Allegan County. I'm going to go ahead and kind of just surf here, make sure I'm not missing anything from the National Weather Service. I want to see if there's any more reports. If you have any reports in Berrien, Cass County, Van Buren County, those are extremely helpful. If you want to just go ahead and share them along in the comment section for everyone to see. I'm trying to get through all the comments myself, but sometimes I can miss some. So those will pop up for everyone to see in the comment section if you do have a report of any strong winds or any damage in the area. But right now, here's our active warnings highlighted in yellow for western Allegan, all of them here in western Cass County. And these storms are continuing to move off to the north and the east at about 60 miles per hour. I'm going to take a swig of water here, and then I'm going to lay on the latest storm track. The last thing I want is to lose my voice on you guys as these storms continue moving off to the north and the east. All right, so a report from Cindy and the Cannon of no power. So that is in Berrien County, southern Berrien County, just west of US 31, a report of no power. Thank you so much, Cindy, for that report there. These storms now showing we're losing power. We have reports of downed trees. We have reports of downed power lines. Expect this to be the same case as these storms continue moving off to the north and the east. Anyone in Berrien or Cass or Van Buren counties, if you're seeing reports that you can send to us, that is extremely helpful. Todd and Coloma, nothing major, about 45 mile per hour winds and still have power. Todd, thank you so much. So that is kind of on the border of Berrien and Van Buren County is that report coming in from Todd right now. So Todd not experiencing those 60 mile per hour winds, but is experiencing some 45 mile per hour winds or so. Either way, sometimes we can get these pockets of some much stronger winds that can do damage, and things can change pretty quick. So that's why they just issue more of a widespread severe thunderstorm warning. Jaden, Jeff Porter's in the actual studio, so he'll be doing TV cut-ins. If there's a tornado warning, we'll be going live wall to wall. But if it's severe thunderstorm warnings, we usually cut in for a little bit and get back to regular programming. We'll be here nonstop, bringing you the latest updates on Facebook and YouTube, wall to wall, as long as there's any active warnings in our area. Erica, Rain, and Papa just started. Thank you so much for that report. Here's the latest scan there. You can kind of see that Boeing signature near Dowagiac. So maybe some stronger winds right now, I would say probably in northwestern, or really anywhere in northern Cass County. Yes, Rhonda, these storms will continue moving off to the north and the east in your way. And Melissa's mentioning about the sprinkles in Portage. You'll notice a few showers and even a few thunderstorms forming out ahead of this line. Those are not producing anything severe. They're not producing those 60 mile per hour winds or anything like that, but we could see some showers and a few thunderstorms out ahead of this line. The line, though, right now that extends from South Haven down just east of Dowagiac, that's where I'm concerned about the chance for some 60 mile per hour winds. Megan, rain, thunder, and heavy winds here in South Haven. Thank you so much. The latest from the National Weather Service showing a 45 mile per hour gust at South Haven. So we'll continue to watch that as it continues to move off to the north and the east. But I'm going to, I promised you that I would relay a new fresh storm track, so let's go ahead and do that. So the latest from the National Weather Service, we're still seeing these storms moving at about 60 miles per hour to the north and the east. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this line here. Off to the north and the east at about 60. So this will give you a sense of when you can expect those storms to roll through your area. The winds could pick up a little ahead of this, keep that in mind. But Concord is on your doorstep. Holland, just before 2 o'clock. You're kind of on the northern fringe of this line of strongest thunderstorms. Three Rivers around 2 o'clock. Kalamazoo around 2:10. Sturgis, 2:15 or so. Kentwood, 2:20. Battle Creek, 2:30. This gives you an idea. These storms are speeding up. I will say earlier, you may have heard me say a little later time frame for your particular city. But these storms are speeding up, which is, if you want it in and out, that's good. Because it'll be in and out of any particular area.
Thunderstorm warning for Elkhart County in north central Indiana, eastern St. Joseph County in north central Indiana, Cass County in southwestern Michigan, western Joseph County in southwestern Michigan, until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 1:44 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms will
go from GI to IT in just a few months, and my computer
north moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour with gusts and any size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expect damage to roofs, siding, and
So the greatest concern is straight line damaging winds.
The National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued a severe thunderstorm warning.
Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we pick the colors that bring your
Cass County in southwestern Michigan, western St. Joseph County, until 2:30 daylight time. Eastern daylight time. Severe thunderstorms are
not in our viewing area of West Michigan, but it's moving off to the north and the east and could start to impact areas.
Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Elkhart County, Indiana, eastern St. Joseph County, Indiana, Cass County in southwestern Michigan, western St. Joseph County in southwestern Michigan, until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 1:44 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Hartford to Edwardsburg to near Bremen, moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-size hail. Source, radar indicated. Impact, expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Elkhart, Mishawaka, Goshen, Three Rivers, Dowagiac, Simonton Lake, Granger, Dunlap, Middlebury, Osceola, Constantine, Cassopolis, Wakarusa, Bristol, White Pigeon, Edwardsburg, Marcellus, Union, Pokagon, and Penn. This includes Interstate 80 in Indiana between mile markers 81 and 108. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. Repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Indiana, Elkhart and St. Joseph, and the following counties in Michigan, Cass and St. Joseph.
And then this will continue to move off to the north and the east, probably not straight into the Kalamazoo area a little after 2 o'clock.
From my standpoint,
Already starting
it's
to dark in Kalamazoo. Hartford Lawrence line
and participation by the hunting community as we consider
super helpful. Also, Sandra says wind in Lawrence blowing the rain horizontally. So it goes to show we have some strong winds and we have some really heavy rains, especially if you're going to be driving too. Maybe kind of pull over. Someone driving at 94. Prepare them for some really heavy rain, low visibility, and some strong winds. These reports coming in, super helpful, by the way. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the reports that everyone is sending in. Let's go ahead and zoom out here. And you'll notice this line of storms extends all the way from just offshore of Holland, all the way down into northern Indiana and central Indiana, even where we have some severe thunderstorm warnings. This is a big line, right? It's not like we're gonna really miss out on much if you're in the path of this line. But I would expect a severe thunderstorm warning to be issued for Kalamazoo and eastern Allegan here pretty shortly. These storms are moving into the Kalamazoo area probably within the next 30 minutes or so. Very windy and looking dark in Allegan. Yeah, Allegan probably in the next 10 to 20 minutes, we'll probably start seeing that rain moving in. Those winds pick up though ahead of the rain. Don't forget about that. Jordan saying heavy rain and wind in Dowagiac. Thank you so much for that report, Jordan. If anyone's seeing any damage reports too, I don't want you out in the storm, obviously, but if you look out the window and notice a tree's down or something like that, or if you do happen to be driving and come across any damage after the storms, give us a heads up. That's really helpful there. But right now, Dowagiac, under the gun, heavy rain and some strong winds, South Haven as well. This line is moving right over your area. And let's zoom in here. So Lawrence getting in on the heavy rain now. Paw Paw is on your doorstep. You'll probably see the rain here any minute, any second. And these will continue to move off to the north and the east. You'll notice a little isolated storm around Three Rivers. That's not our severe thunderstorm warning yet. That is a separate little storm that's producing a little bit of lightning, some heavy downpours. But what we're really concerned about is this line of storms That's moving right over South Haven, right over Western, Van Buren, and Cass counties. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for Western Allegan, all of Van Buren, and Cass County, and Western St. Joe County until about 2:15. The timing changes slightly depending on where exactly you are. Anywhere between 2:15 and 2:30 is when those warnings will expire. Donna saying a lot of wind and Bangor. Thank you so much, Donna, for that report. Super helpful. Wind, windy, really dark, and Douglas. Thank you so much. Jason saying it's thunder in Constantine. Yes, that's that non-severe thunderstorm down there in Constantine. That's kind of developed around the Three Rivers area and will continue moving off to the north and the east. No word yet from the National Weather Service about any expansion of a severe thunderstorm warning. But I will be watching that very closely. I would not be surprised to see a severe thunderstorm warning issued shortly for eastern Allegan and at least western Kalamazoo County. We'll keep a close eye on that. But right now, let's go ahead and zoom out here a little bit. I do want to look at the latest. So what's funny is it looks like these storms that are further north are moving a little faster. So I'm going to average about 50 miles per hour now for these storms. That's kind of the latest from these storms a little further south. So just to give kind of a general idea here, I'm going to move it at about 50 miles per hour. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sometimes this computer system gets a little wacky. You have to zoom out a little further to actually get a good storm track here. So I apologize that I have to zoom out so far. But I just want to do that to give you the best possible idea of when these storms will move into your area. So let's say about 50. All right, so this gives you a little better idea of when we could expect those thunderstorms to arrive.
Okay, I'm back, guys. I had to take care of a problem.
Around 2 o'clock, kind of off to the south. So Ottawa County, not much of a thunderstorm warning, but Allegan is. Storms are a little weaker the further north you go. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning though for
212.
Right
now it's 153, so.
And western St. Joseph County. Three Rivers around 210. That's when we can see these storms moving into your area. Kalamazoo, roughly 215. If you're on the west side, they're going to hit you first. The east side might take a little bit longer, but roughly around 215. Sturgis around 220. Battle Creek around 240, 245. Coldwater around 250. That gives you just a general sense of when these storms could arrive in your area. So right now, the active warnings we have are for western Allegan, Van Buren, Cass County, and western St. Joseph County. And you're saying it's raining in Kalamazoo. That is an isolated thunderstorm that has formed ahead of this line of storms. So you might see some rain before that. But what I'm concerned about is that line of storms that could be producing some 60-mile-per-hour winds right now is in southwest Allegan, central Van Buren, and central Cass counties. That's what I'm mainly concerned about in terms of severe weather. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. No new warnings at the moment. I'll be keeping a close eye on that. Not seeing any wind gust reports.
When it gets 2 o'clock, I'll put the.
Okay, there was in South Haven, there was a 51-mile-per-hour gust. So certainly some strong winds, but that's not necessarily a damaging wind gust. We'll just watch that very closely.
Things I do for the city.
Right now, these storms continue to move off to the northeast at about 45 to 60 miles per hour. And those active warnings there are in that orange box.
Okay.
So yes, we are seeing some showers around Kalamazoo. I'll zoom in here. This is not what we're worried about, though, for the severe weather. These are just some isolated showers and a few thunderstorms that are developing ahead of the main line around Mendon and Ottawa right now.
Porter Union.
Sturgis seeing some showers. But the main concern is this massive line of storms right now that has a history of producing some 60 to 65 mile per hour winds in West Michigan, around St. Joe and Benton Harbor. We've had those reports of some very strong winds. So let's go ahead and put a velocity scan here. Kind of try to get an estimate of these wind speeds here. This is not going to be perfect. This is going to be in the upper atmosphere. But yeah, radar, estimating a 66 mile per
Calvin
hour.
has not know where Calvin is. Calvin Township.
County, 65 miles per hour in Van Buren County. So, it's certainly possible that we're seeing some 60, 65 mile per hour winds making it down to the surface from this line of thunderstorms as it moves through West Michigan. So we're going to continue to watch this. I'm not going anywhere on you guys. I will be, if there's a severe thunderstorm warning, we will be here live on Facebook and YouTube. I appreciate any comments. If you are experiencing any strong winds or power outages, or you see any damage reports, chime in on our comment section. That's super helpful. Not only gives me, but everyone watching an idea of what's going on, what they can expect when storms move into their area. But right now, Paul now is that heavy rain, probably some strong winds as well. And this will continue to move off to the east and northeast at about 45 to 60 miles per hour. Some people mentioned this humidity. Yeah, this is kind of the first time where we've had to deal with humidity, right? So far this season. That's why I had to look at those key points here. 67 is the dew point. Battle Creek, Kalamazoo, 68, Three Rivers. So there is plenty of moisture and there's plenty of instability for these storms to continue as they move off to the east. They could even strengthen as they move off to the east. It's actually getting into a more favorable zone for severe weather the further inland, further away from Lake Michigan these storms get. So I would not be surprised to see these storms strengthen as they continue moving off to the north and the east. The National Weather Service just updated the Allegan and Van Buren County severe thunderstorm warning. It is slowing down. Okay, these storms are slowing down, but still producing about 60 mile per hour wind gusts. But now these storms are moving at about 40 miles per hour. So they're really starting to slow down, but still will be producing those really strong winds. Just looking here at the latest power map. And it looks like there is about 1,400 people without power in Berrien County. So this storm is producing strong enough winds to cause power outages and also some damage reports as well. But we just have a new warning that's issued. Kalamazoo County, Western Calhoun County, all of Berry County, all of Allegan County, all of Kent County, northeastern Ottawa County, a new severe thunderstorm warning. It's just been issued by the National Weather Service. 60 mile per hour wind possible thunderstorm warning for Western Calhoun County, South Central Michigan, Allegan County, Southwestern Michigan, Kent County in southwestern Michigan, Ottawa County in southwestern Michigan, Berry County in southwestern Michigan, Kalamazoo County in southwestern Michigan until 3:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and 1:58 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from Harlan State Park to Crosswalk to Metropolis, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. Hazard 60 miles per hour with gusts. Source radar indicated at 1:20 p.m. that 63 miles per hour with gusts was reported at the Benton Harbor Airport. Impact expects damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Portage, Holland, Hastings, Battle Creek, Allegan, Wyoming, Kentwood, Walker, Granville, East Grand Rapids, Hudsonville, Rockford, Coopersville, Sparta, Wheeling, Otsego, Waynell. For your protection, with area near on the north floor of the building. So, strong winds as these storms face off in the east. You'll notice some storms some showers forming ahead of this line. Kalamazoo, you're seeing some showers. Three Rivers, Sturgis, you're seeing some thunderstorms. North of Grand Rapids, some isolated thunderstorms. That's not the severe thunderstorm that we're worried about. The severe storm is that line of storms that extends anywhere from Holland. Holland now seeing some strong winds, potentially some very heavy rain. It's about to move into Allegan. It's moving into Matawan right now, and it's about to move into western St. Joseph County. You will experience the winds picking up ahead of the rain. We'll probably have some strong winds developing just ahead of that rain and all that lightning as well. So Timmy's saying you just got that alert in Battle Creek. You're now under strict thunderstorm warning until 3:30 this afternoon. Rain already stopping in South Haven. Yeah, so it goes to show it's in and out very quickly, right? You'll get some really heavy rain, potentially some intense winds, some lightning for about 20 or 30 minutes. And then after that, we'll have some lighter rain for another 30 minutes or so. And then we'll notice it moving out. So it's in and out very quickly. And by 4 or 5 o'clock, I think all of West Michigan will be clear of severe weather. Getting some more reports from the National Weather Service. About 1,200 outages now being reported in Van Buren County. There's also a pretty nice surge of some stronger winds that are about to come through the city of Allegan. We're also seeing slight rotation around Allegan. So that's something we're going to keep a close eye on. The main concern is straight line damaging winds. But I'm not going to rule out a little isolated tornado right now. We're not seeing enough rotation to be too concerned about that. We are getting a report in Van Buren County of a tree down across 44th Street, right at 6th Street. Obviously trees coming down, power lines coming down, power outages occurring in Van Buren County. So this storm is producing damaging winds and will continue to do so as it moves off to the north and the east. All right, just checking some more reports from the National Weather Service here. Not much at the moment to update you guys on, but if that changes, of course, I'll let you know. But yeah, we are seeing some more isolated activity really forming ahead of this line. Areas east of Three Rivers, northwest of Sturgis. So additional thunderstorms, but those might actually help to kind of steal some of the energy from that line of storms. But what we're not seeing is storms forming ahead of the line really much up in Allegan or not too much in Kalamazoo yet. So these storms are probably going to certainly strengthen there. Let's get the latest look at velocity here. So this is just radar estimating these winds. This is not going to be perfect, but radar is estimating near 70 mile per hour wind gusts with this storm in Allegan. Down in Van Buren County, it's estimating winds around 58, 57 miles per hour. So anything over 58 could be doing damage out there. That is severe criteria. So this storm, radar is obviously estimating that there's severe winds, and now we're getting the ground reports coming in of down trees, down power lines, power outages. So obviously damage occurring right now in these storms, and they could actually strengthen as they move off to the north and the east. We may see some stronger wind. I'm getting an update here from the National Weather Service. Let me just read that here real quickly and see what that is about. Okay, yeah. So they're updating the severe thunderstorm warning now to include the chance for some 70 mile per hour winds now. With this line as it moves through eastern Van Buren into Allegan County and into western Kalamazoo County as well. We could now see winds as high as 70 miles per hour. We will keep an eye on some very broad rotation right now, moving into the Allegan area. If anything changes, I will update. So now we're getting observed winds near 60 to 70 miles per hour. So this really strong line of storms that is moving through West Michigan. We could see them strengthening here as they continue to move off to the north and the east. Yeah, that rotation near Allegan is very broad. I'm not too concerned about that right now. More concerned about straight line damaging winds, but if you're in the Allegan area, we could see some 70-mile-per-hour winds, maybe even some stronger winds with that little complex of storms there. So we're going to keep a close eye on that for you. I would say that's probably the strongest winds out of anywhere in this line right now. But some 60 to 70-mile-per-hour winds possible anywhere where you're under severe thunderstorm warning right now. That's a good chunk of Ottawa County, Kent County, Allegan County, Barry County, Kalamazoo County, and Calhoun County. So now they just updated that warning for all of West Michigan to include the threat for now 70-mile-per-hour winds. 70-mile-per-hour winds possible with these storms. They are strengthening as they move off to the north and the east. Let me go ahead and lay down the exact, or a new storm tracker here for you. I'm going to zoom out so that I can get all of the area that's needs to be concerned in the picture. I'll go ahead and kind of just draw this real quick for you. Move it off the north and the east at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. Okay, so this kind of gives you just a rough estimate. Three Rivers, it's on your doorstep. You'll probably notice the wind picking up already. Heavy rain on the way. Kalamazoo, around 2:15. West side, probably already seeing the rain coming down, and it will continue to move off to the east. Sturgis around 220, Grand Rapids around 230, Battle Creek around 240, Coldwater near 250. Getting a report of lost internet in Allegan, super windy, rain bad. Alexandra says that Pawpaw, the winds were really bad. So certainly getting some more ground reports of these strong winds as this storm continues to move off to the north and the east. Melissa, slightly northwest of Three Rivers, some wind, no rain yet. I appreciate that report. Let me know if anything changes there. But I'm going to go ahead and erase this storm tracker for you, and we can zoom in to show you exactly where this line is. So that orange box, that's a severe thunderstorm warning. It's active for much of the area until 3:30. So that is going on for another hour and 15 minutes or so. And right now, Kalamazoo, we need to be on guard. Kalamazoo, these storms about to move into the area. It's already probably raining on the east side, and the city itself should see some strong winds and some heavy rain. You'll notice how this storm, or this rain here, is kind of in a bowing shape. You see that? How it kind of curves. It does like almost like a half circle. That indicates really strong winds where we're seeing that bowing. So I'm going to go ahead and now get the latest on our velocity signature here. And looks like we could be seeing some, let's see, 60, 65 mile per hour winds there. That is too far east.
Hey guys, we might lose power soon. The lights are flickering. So we might lose power. I'm still here, guys, but we might lose power in a little bit.
Before the rain arrives. Barbara saying that White Pigeon is all calm now. Wind was very bad as it passed. Barbara, thank you so much for that report. A report of a tree hitting a trailer home near Bangor and Glendale. All right, so that's not good. That's not what we want to see. No power in Constantine. Goes to show winds are strong enough to be taking down trees and power lines. Now getting some reports of no power at Constantine. Rain and, or really windy, between Constantine and Three Rivers, says Jason. Lots of wind in Allegan, some heavy rain as well. All right, so Allegan has the tornado siren going. So right now there's no active tornado warning, but we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for 70 mile per hour winds. And sometimes communities, when they issue that 70 mile per hour tag on a severe thunderstorm warning, will go ahead and trigger their tornado sirens to go. So that's why you may hear those sirens. They're just warning you. This is a really bad storm, right? Right now, the concern is those straight line damaging winds. At the moment, we'll keep an eye on a little bit of rotation ongoing in parts of the area. Getting some reports in Allegan County that power's out, large branches coming down. And getting some more reports of trees down in Van Buren County.
Hey guys,
as well.
It's raining.
Try to see if there's any more wind reports coming in. Constantine, Michigan, power poles, several power poles down. Lines down over the road. Royce Road near Reese Road, that's in Constantine, Michigan. So this storm producing some very strong winds, enough to bring trees down.
So we might lose power, guys.
And we are seeing.
We've been on YouTube now, live on YouTube now for 2 hours. It started raining like a second ago, so yeah. So we might lose power. Lights were flickering earlier, so we might lose power soon.
What's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing two things. I'm using a camcorder and a. I'm turning you guys off.
County, all of Kent, Allegan, Berry, Kalamazoo, Western Calhoun, and Western St. Joseph counties until about 3:30 for a good chunk of the area. I am starting to see some more power outages being reported around Lawrence, around Gobles, around.
It's raining now.
And I'm assuming that more outages are going to be coming in here as they get.
It's only like what 2:12 right now. The rain started, and if there's power poles out in Constantine, we might lose power here. Like no, the dam's on the road tower, so you won't lose no power. You might lose power, but you're fine right now.
From this line of storms that's moving through the area for the west, Crystal saying winds picking up on West Main and Drake, raining good. Thank you for that report. Alexandra thinking that there's probably some trees down around her from some strong winds.
There's some rain, no hell.
Erica saying, holy cow, that got crazy in Paw Paw. Yeah, things will pick up quick. Might seem kind of calm. It's like it's kind of breezy, and then boom, those winds hit. And we could see some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. So make sure that you're in a sturdy structure.
Like a house.
Protected from those winds. Sally saying the wind's picking up on the west side of Kalamazoo. Texas Township picking up from Lily. So basically, we just want to get in a sturdy structure away from windows. Because with winds that strong, we could be having trees coming down, some potential like lighter debris.
Other problems. I have no trees under the fall of my house. The ones in the garage.
But this line right now, moving east of Holland, northeast of Holland.
I have to. I got a pit right there and go in. I got a pit and go into.
You need to be getting in your safe place.
If we lose power, sorry in advance. We lose power in advance. Sorry if we lose power.
I hope we don't lose power. Luckily, we do have a generator, so you might lose me for a second if we do lose power.
Lights were flickering a minute ago for the cats. A little bit ago.
We will be back shortly if we do lose power here at the station. One of my web people is saying that there's power out in Berry.
Excuse me.
So yeah, getting a lot more reports of power outages.
The National Weather Service in northern Indiana has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for LaGrange County in northeastern Indiana, St. Joseph County in southwestern Michigan, southwestern Indiana, at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 13 Eastern Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from near Marcellus to Constantine to near Millersburg, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Hazard 60 miles per hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Source: radar indicated.
There it is. All right. So all of St. Joseph and Western Branch countdown under a severe thunderstorm
that include Sturgis, Three Rivers, LaGrange, Bronson, Constantine, Centerville, Colon, Topeka, Lenore, Scott, Brownfield, Conway, Levi's, Wilcoxville, Mendon.
50 saying, maybe rain in South Florida, just lost power as well.
Interstate and Indiana between mile markers 100 and 133. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building. repeating, a severe thunderstorm warning has been issued until 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties.
Right now, the storm is moving over the river, it's moving over Kalamazoo, and over Allegan, and racing towards Grand Rapids as well. There have been thousands of power outages.
The National Weather Service in Northern Indiana has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Lockhart County, Indiana, northern Kosciuszko County, Indiana, until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 1:57 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Atwood or near Warsaw, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour.
And then you'll see some lighter
60 miles per hour with gusts.
This is in and out very
Source,
quickly.
radar indicated.
Intense
Impact, expect damage to roofs,
as
setting,
the
and
trend
trees.
line kind of moves to the area.
Locations impacted include Goshen, Napanee, Syracuse, Milford, North Webster, Millersburg, New Paris, Benton, Rock, Etna Green, Leesburg, Toledo, Hastings, Forward, Lake Connect, Gravelton, Durham, Oakwood Park. A severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Wabash and southeastern Kosciuszko counties. At 2:16 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Pierceton, or 7 miles west of Columbia City, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. Hazard, 60 miles per hour with gusts.
You could get some pretty
Source,
strong winds.
radar indicated.
That line moves through.
Impact,
I'm
expect
just saying
damage
it's
to roofs,
crazy how
setting,
they
and trees.
Yeah. Those winds
Locations
now full
impacted
of
include
heavy rain,
Warsaw,
lightning.
Wabash, North Manchester, Winona Lake, North Webster, Pierceton, Silver Lake, Claypool, Largo,
That just goes to show what's in out very quick. We'll have some heavy rain,
Liberty
lightning,
Mills,
and
Irish
strong
Lake,
winds for about 20, 30
Little
minutes.
Chapman Lane, James Lake,
Calm it down very
Serbia.
quick.
For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building.
Up to the east.
Continuous cloud to ground lightning is occurring with
Right
this
now, we have
storm.
an active spear
Move
thunderstorm
indoors immediately.
for
Lightning is one of nature's leading killers.
Allegan,
Remember,
Berry,
you can hear thunder. You are close enough to be struck by lightning.
branch to western.
Torrential rainfall is occurring with this storm and may lead to flash flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flooded roadways.
Certainly didn't see a
Repeating, a
lot
severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 2:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following counties in Indiana, Kosciuszko, and Wabash.
The severe thunderstorm warning expires at
This is a severe
3:30 for most of the area. It really depends on where you're at. There's different times for every county right now. But I'll go ahead and pull up this, which should give us a little better idea. So some 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts possible. Not for everyone inside this line of storm, but there's going to be possibly some more intense winds inside this line of storm. And we could see wind gusts as high as 70 miles per hour. So that's the concern. No power in Plainwell by Miller and 10th Street. Sarah, thank you for that report. Very windy for a minute, but calm down quick is what Ricky said in Alamo. Oshtemo, not horrible so far. Heavy rain, moderate wind. Thank you for that report. After this line, no more severe weather. So once this line passes, you are clear of severe weather. This is in and out very quick. It's just a short, but could be intense, 20 or 30 minutes or so. So these are continuing to move off to the east. I will pause to give you an idea. To the east. Power continues to flick here at the station, kind of flickering on and off. If we do lose power here at the station, we do have backup power. So the good news is you might lose me for a second, but we will be back on very shortly if we lose power. We have it right now, but I've noticed several power flickers in Kalamazoo, here on the south side of Kalamazoo, Iowa Station. Consumers Energy map is lighting up. Lots of different colors showing up, lots of power outages being reported in Allegan County, near just east of Gobles, just west of Otsego, around Allegan. Lots of power outages being reported. Lawrence, a power outage being reported as well. So obviously these storms producing some very strong winds as they continue to move off to the east. Power flickering in Comstock as well, Kalamazoo. North side of Three Rivers now, heavy rain and wind for very short time, just rain now. Yeah, the wind is pretty short duration, right? You'll see those strong winds for a little bit, and then it will calm down. Right now, there's strong wind right on the leading edge of this line of storms, so moving right over Westfinch and Kalamazoo. So that's why we're seeing a little bit of power flickers here at the station. Crazy wind reported. Yeah, I'm sure the cleanup crew is going to have quite a day tomorrow, no doubt about that. Really windy in Millwood, lost power in Parchment, dark range and windy in Plainwell. Right now, I'm not concerned about tornadoes, Nicole. I'm more concerned about straight line damaging winds. We will keep a very close eye. Sometimes we can get these very brief little areas of rotation. So they will issue a tornado warning if that happens. But right now, we only have severe thunderstorm warnings. Just a reminder though, severe thunderstorms, straight line damaging winds can and will do just as much damage as tornadoes do. So we want to take these severe thunderstorm warnings very seriously. Still have power on the north side of Kalamazoo. That's some good news there, Lisa. Definitely windy for a few minutes between Constantine and Three Rivers. Heavy downpour. Jason, thank you so much for that report. Right now, this line of storms continues to move off to the east at about 45 miles per hour. Some more reports coming in from the National Weather Service here. Allegheny County did activate its outdoor warning sirens for winds in excess of 70 miles per hour. So that's why, if anyone was wondering, that's why the sirens were going in Allegheny, because of 70 miles per hour greater winds. There are several reports, this coming from the emergency manager in Allegheny County, several reports of trees and wires down in the city of Allegheny, Otsego, Watson Township, any of those general areas. A lot of power outages being reported across Allegheny County and really across all of West Michigan. Elizabeth saying Goebel's hit very hard, no power there. So yeah, certainly, that's where we were seeing a lot of strong winds showing up on our radar as well. So severe thunderstorm warning continues until 3:30 o'clock this afternoon for Kent County, Eastern Iowa County, Northeastern Allegheny County, Perry County, Kalamazoo County, Western Calhoun County. Some 70 mile per hour winds possible. The storm is moving off to the northeast at about 55 miles per hour. Also, St. Joseph and Western Branch County. You are under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. I'm going to get the latest time on that one. It is a different warning. That is in effect until 3 o'clock. So those are the active severe thunderstorm warnings that we have right now. This storm has produced some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. And as you can see, if you're looking to the comments, a lot of the power outages. No power over by Kalamazoo Central area. Patrick, thank you for that report. Michelle saying the trees on the block and her street. She's been watching that. Andrea, Plainwell, no power. Starting to calm down already in Goebel. That just goes to show it's in and out very quickly. Intense rain and winds. And then boom, it's over. And we can just see some light rain for about 20, 30 minutes after this line of storms moves past. East of Mattawa already slowing down. That's good news if you're in Kalamazoo. It should be slowing down very shortly. Kalamazoo by Parchment, power is out. Hit in Vicksburg. That wind it just hit in Vicksburg. Okay, we now have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Southern Kent, northeastern Allegheny, and also much of Berry County. 80 mile per hour winds are possible. That's why you're seeing this flashing box. See that flashing box in southern Kent, much of Berry and northeastern Allegheny County. 80 mile per hour winds are possible with that storm. You will probably get a notification on your phone. If you have your phone out, be prepared for that kind of eerie tone. You'll see an alert on your TV and on your radio as well. Those severe thunderstorm warnings get triggered to the emergency alert system, okay? So you'll probably hear that eerie tone if you're in southern Kent, much of Berry County, and northeast Allegheny County. You can now see winds as high as 80 miles per hour with these storms as they move through that area. That is where I'm most concerned, but we obviously have power outages anywhere these storms are moving through West Michigan. We're getting several reports of downed trees, several reports of downed wires, and these storms showing no sign of weakening. If anything, they show signs of strengthening. as they continue to move off to east and the northeast. I'm going to go ahead and put the latest velocity signature here on these storms as they continue to move through eastern Allegheny County, moving over 131 right now. I'll go ahead and put this little scan up here. Door is absolutely getting pounded by these strong winds right now. Let's go ahead and see what radar is estimating here at Door. Yeah, radar is estimating some 78 mile per hour winds. 78 mile per hour winds is what radar is estimating right now in northeastern Allegheny County. And this is going to continue to move into the south side of Grand Rapids, into northwestern Berry County as well. Very intense winds there. Anywhere under the severe thunderstorm warning, though, we want to make sure that we are in our safe place and prepared for some strong winds, heavy rain, and lightning as well. This line of storms continues moving now east of Kalamazoo, headed towards Battle Creek, Hastings,
There's no lightning strike.
south side of Grand Rapids, Sturgis. This is moving into your area. Really heavy rain.
I know it's pounding here in 3 rivers.
131. Tracy, power line caught on fire on M40 and Paw from Eric. Thank you so much for that report.
Wow,
If you could avoid travel, I would, because we're getting lots of reports of trees down, power lines down. So if you do have to travel, just be cautious, you know. Do not cross a down wire, treat every down wire like it is active. As we saw, we could be seeing some sparks that cause fires right now when these lines come down.
It's pouring hard. Like I say, we might lose power. If we lose power, start in advance. The camera's rolling right now. Wow, it's actually bouncing off the garage right now.
My greater concern is these winds. That can be as strong now as 80 miles per hour. 80 miles per hour winds possible with these storms, as they're especially up in Berry County and southern Kent County. The strongest winds I'm seeing right now are in northern.
You see that? Then you're good.
Very strong line of storms. They can take you off the east and the northeast.
I'll be right back and go at the front.
Straight line damage winds, but I'm not going to rule out the hail as well. Right now, this flashing box that you see, I'll kind of highlight it here for you. See this little box here? Much of Berry County, southern Kent County, northeastern Allegheny County. All right, that box there is where we could see 80 miles per hour winds. Some very strong winds. That's an EF1 tornado. All right, we're not seeing a tornado right now. These are straight line damaging winds. The winds are not rotating. But what I'm saying is, these winds are just as strong as what an EF1 tornado would do, and they're more widespread. More people will be impacted. So this is my greatest concern. Southern Kent, much of Berry, and northeastern Allegheny County, with some 80 mile per hour winds are possible.
Boom.
But we could see some 60 to 70 mile per hour winds in this active severe thunderstorm warning right now. Eastern Kalamazoo, eastern Calhoun, eastern St. Joseph, and western Branch counties. You are under an active severe thunderstorm warning right now. Nicole saying she got that emergency alert, right? If they issue a warning for 80 mile per hour winds, you will get that emergency alert on your phone, TV, radio. So that's why you're hearing that. I'll go ahead and put the latest storm tracker on. I'm going to just zoom out here. And these storms are moving off to the northeast. At about 45 to 50 miles per hour. So I'll cut it in the middle and do about 48 here. Just going to draw this real quick. And this comes out.
I'm hungry.
Here. Say about 48 miles per hour. This will give you a rough estimate of when the storms will hit your area if you haven't been impacted yet. So we're looking at Sturgis. It is knocking on your doorstep. All right, these storms will be there very shortly. Grand Rapids, a little after 2:35, most likely is when we'll see those winds picking up. Coldwater shortly before 3 o'clock. Quincy around 3 o'clock. Ionia 3:10. And these storms will continue moving off to the east and the northeast. They look to be strengthening as well. Just going to check these comments here. Power out in Plainwell. Lost power in half of my home. Crazy. Yeah. It's strange how that happens. Yeah, Kalamazoo, these storms are moving off to the east now. So if you look outside and the wind and the rain is calming down, then you are good. These storms now moving off to the east. So things calm down pretty quickly, but just ahead of this line, very, very intense winds possible. And then you'll notice the heavy rain and the frequent lightning. Power out in Otsego. Thank you for that report, Brenda. Rain is starting in Battle Creek. Yeah, we'll start to feel those winds and rain kind of picking up. But right now, the strongest winds that I'm seeing are moving into that kind of triple point where Allegan, Berry, and Kent County all meet up. So if you're in that area, that's where I'm seeing the strongest winds right now on Doppler radar. Let's go ahead and zoom in here. Maybe not quite as bad as they were earlier, but still I wouldn't be surprised to see some 70, maybe up to 8 mile per hour winds. But radar itself is not showing the winds quite as strong as they were when they issued that severe thunderstorm warning. Portage should be good. If you look outside and the rain's calming down, you should be good. This is moving off to the north and east. All right, no power in Parchment.
Okay.
Thank you, Patricia, for that report. No power, no air when it's 80 degrees. Great. I know. That's unfortunate, right? I think we're going to be dealing with a lot of people that are going to have to bear through the heat here after these storms pass with all the trees down and power lines down that we've had reported. I'm looking at the consumer's energy map, and we are seeing power outages going crazy around the Otsego Plainwell area. Comstock now getting a lot of reports of power outages. New reports coming in around Gun Lake. Areas further north around Wayland, I'm seeing some reports of power outages. All the way is north where US 131 meets M6. That general area is seeing some more power outages coming in. Looks like a report of over 1,000 people without power there. More reports coming in on the east side of Kalamazoo. So yeah, I mean, we're getting a lot of reports of trees down, power lines down. So if you are, if these storms haven't hit you yet, be prepared for some intense winds and some trees and power lines potentially coming down. Calm now north Douglas. Power has held, just light rain and wind. Lisa, you're a lucky one. But yeah, once the rain calms down, once the wind calms down, you guys should be good to go. If you do have to travel, just be careful. Lots of reports of down trees, down power lines, closed roads. Please, just be smart if you're going to be traveling.
Okay, I think it's over, guys. I think we're done.
Culver now and Oshkosh listed very well. No power in Richland. Annabelle, thanks for that report. Right now, we have active severe thunderstorm warnings for Kent County, Berry County, Eastern Kalamazoo, Western County.
Okay, I think we're done.
Western Branch, and Eastern St. Joseph County. That's where I'm most concerned for the threat for some 60 to even now 80 mile per hour winds.
Okay, we're done.
Heavy rain, lots of lightning.
We're done. So I'm cutting off now.
As these storms continue to move off to the north and the east.
And so we're done.
Areas that were just getting hammered about an hour or an